Good evening. Welcome. So happy you've joined us to relax and unwind for a peaceful sleep. To help you drift off this evening, we've got two sleep-episodes, two sleep stories. Celtic tales. The first is called Gold Tree and Silver Tree, and the second, The Tale of Ivan. Get settled in. Take a deep breath in. Let it out. And just listen and unwind. Gold Tree and Silver Tree. Once upon a time there was a king who had a wife whose name was Silver Tree, and a daughter whose name was Gold Tree. On a certain day of the days, Gold Tree and Silver Tree went to a glen where there was a well, and in it there was a trout. Said Silver Tree, "Trouty, bonny little fellow, am not I the most beautiful queen in the world?" "Oh, indeed, you are not." "Who then?" "Why, Gold Tree, your daughter." Silver Tree went home, blind with rage. She lay down on the bed and vowed she would never be well until she could get the heart and the liver of Gold Tree, her daughter, to eat. At nightfall the king came home, and it was told him that Silver Tree, his wife, was very ill. He went where she was and asked her what was wrong with her. "Oh, only a thing which you may heal if you like." "Oh, indeed, there is nothing at all which I could do for you that I would not do. If I get the heart and the liver of Gold Tree, my daughter, to eat, I shall be well." Now it happened about this time that the son of a great king had come from abroad to ask Gold Tree for marrying. The king now agreed to this, and they went abroad. The king then went and sent his lads to the hunting hill for a he-goat, and he gave its heart and its liver to his wife to eat, and she rose well and healthy. A year after this, Silver Tree went to the glen, where there was the well in which there was the trout. "Trouty, bonny little fellow," said she, "am I not the most beautiful queen in the world?" "Oh, indeed you are not." "Who then?" "Why, Gold Tree, your daughter." "Oh, well, it is long since she was living. It is a year since I ate her heart and liver." "Oh, indeed she is not dead. She is married to a great prince abroad." Silver Tree went home and begged the king to put the long ship in order, and said, "I am going to see my dear Gold Tree, for it is long since I saw her." The long ship was put in order, and they went away. It was Silver Tree herself that was at the helm, and she steered the ship so well that they were not long at all before they arrived. The prince was out hunting on the hills. Gold Tree knew the long ship of her father coming. "Oh," she said to the servants, "my mother is coming, and she will kill me." "She shall not kill you at all. We will lock you in a room where she cannot get near you." This is how it was done. And when Silver Tree came ashore, she began to cry out, "Come to meet your own mother when she comes to see you." Gold Tree said that she could not, that she was locked in the room, and that she could not get out of it. "Will you not put out," said Silver Tree, "your little finger through the keyhole so that your own mother may give a kiss to it?" She put out her little finger, and Silver Tree went and put a poisoned stab in it, and Gold Tree fell dead. When the prince came home and found Gold Tree dead, he was in great sorrow, and when he saw how beautiful she was, he did not bury her at all, but he locked her in a room where nobody would get near her. In the course of time he married again, and the whole house was under the hand of this wife, but one room, and he himself always kept the key of that room. On a certain day of the days he forgot to take the key with him, and the second wife got into the room. What did she see there but the most beautiful woman that she ever saw? She began to turn and try to wake her, and she noticed the poisoned stab in her finger. She took the stab out, and Gold-tree rose alive, as beautiful as she was ever. At the fall of night, the prince came home from the hunting hill, looking very downcast. "What gift," said his wife, "would you give me that I could make you laugh?" "Oh, indeed, nothing could make me laugh, except Gold-tree were to come alive again." "Well, you'll find her alive down there in the room." When the prince saw Gold-tree alive, he made great rejoicings, and he began to kiss her and kiss her and kiss her. Said the second wife, "Since she is the first one you had, it is better for you to stick to her, and I will go away." "Oh, indeed, you shall not go away, but I shall have both of you." At the end of the year, Silver-tree went to the glen where there was the well in which there was the trout. "Trouty, bonny little fellow," said she, "am I not the most beautiful queen in the world?" "Oh, indeed, you are not." "Who then?" "Why, Gold-tree, your daughter." "Oh, well, she is not alive. It is a year since I put the poisoned stab into her finger." "Oh, indeed, she is not dead at all, at all." Silver-tree went home and begged the king to put the long ship in order, for that she was going to see her dear Gold-tree, as it was so long since she saw her. The long ship was put in order, and they went away. It was Silver-tree herself that was at the helm, and she steered the ship so well that they were not long at all before they arrived. The prince was out hunting on the hills. Gold-tree knew her father's ship coming. "Oh," said she, "my mother is coming, and she will kill me." "Not at all," said the second wife. "We will go down to meet her." Silver-tree came ashore. "Come down, Gold-tree, love," said she, "for your own mother has come to you with a precious drink." "It is a custom in this country," said the second wife, "that the person who offers a drink takes a draught out of it first." Silver-tree put her mouth to it, and the second wife went and struck it so that some of it went down her throat, and she fell dead. They had only to carry her home, a dead corpse, and bury her. The prince and his two wives were long alive after this, pleased and peaceful. I left them there. The Tale of Ivan. There were formerly a man and a woman living in the parish of Llanlanian, in the place which is called Rwyth. And work became scarce, so the man said to his wife, "I will go search for work, and you may live here." So he took fair leave and travelled far toward the east, and at last came to the house of a farmer and asked for work. "What work can you do?" said the farmer. "I can do all kinds of work," said Ivan. Then they agreed upon 3 pounds for the year's wages. When the end of the year came, his master showed him the 3 pounds. "See, Ivan," said he, "here's your wage, but if you will give it me back, I will give you a piece of advice instead." "Give me my wage," said Ivan. "No, I'll not," said the master. "I'll explain my advice." "Tell it me then," said Ivan. "Then," said the master, "never leave the old road for the sake of a new one." After that they agreed for another year at the old wages, and at the end of it Ivan took instead a piece of advice, and this was it: "Never lodge where an old man is married to a young woman." The same thing happened at the end of the 3rd year, when the piece of advice was, "Honesty is the best policy." But Ivan would not stay longer, but wanted to go back to his wife. "Don't go today," said his master. "My wife bakes tomorrow, and she shall make thee a cake to take home to thy good woman." And when Ivan was going to leave, "Here," said his master, "here is a cake for thee to take home to thy wife, and when ye are most joyous together, then break the cake, and not sooner." So he took fair leave of them and travelled towards home, and at last he came to Wainher, and there he met 3 merchants from the Tryrin of his own parish, coming home from Exeter Fair. "Oho, Ivan," said they, "come with us. Glad are we to see you. Where have you been so long?" "I have been in service," said Ivan, and now I'm going home to my wife." "Oh, come with us, you'll be right welcome." But when they took the new road, Ivan kept to the old one, and robbers fell upon them before they had gone far from Ivan as they were going by the fields of the houses in the meadow. They began to cry out, "Thieves!" and Ivan shouted out, "Thieves!" too. And when the robbers heard Ivan's shout, they ran away. And the merchants went by the new road, and Ivan by the old one, till they met again at Market Jew. "Oh, Ivan," said the merchants, "we are beholding to you, but for you we would have been lost men. Come lodge with us at our cost, and welcome." When they came to the place where they used to lodge, Ivan said, "I must see the host." "The host?" they cried. "What do you want with the host? Here is the hostess, and she's young and pretty. If you want to see the host, you'll find him in the kitchen." So he went into the kitchen to see the host. He found him a weak old man turning the spit. "Uh-oh," quoth Ivan, "I'll not lodge here, but we'll go next door." "Not yet," said the merchants. "Sup with us, and welcome." Now it happened that the hostess had plotted with a certain monk in Market Jew to murder the old man in his bed that night while the rest were asleep, and they agreed to lay it on the lodgers. So while Ivan was in bed next door, there was a hole in the pine end of the house, and he saw a light through it. So he got up and looked, and heard the monk speaking. "I had better cover this hole," said he, "or people in the next house may see our deeds." So he stood with his back against it while the hostess killed the old man. But meanwhile, Ivan, out with his knife, and putting it through the hole, cut a round piece off the monk's robe. The very next morning the hostess raised the cry that her husband was murdered, and as there was neither man nor child in the house but the merchants, she declared they ought to be hanged for it. So they were taken and carried to prison till at least Ivan came to them. "Alas, alas, Ivan," cried they, "bad luck sticks to us. Our host was killed last night, and we shall be hanged for it." "Ah, tell the justices," Ivan said, "to summon the real murderers." Who knows," they replied, who committed the crime." "Who committed the crime?" said Ivan. "If I cannot prove who committed the crime, hang me in your stead." So he told all that he knew, and brought out the piece of cloth from the monk's robe. And with that the merchants were set at liberty, and the hostess and the monk were seized and hanged. Then they came all together out of Market Jew, and they said to him, "Come as far as Coed Carne Wilfa, the wood of the heap of stones of watching in the parish of Berman." Then their two roads separated, and though the merchants wished Ivan to go with them, he would not go with them, but went straight home to his wife. And when his wife saw him, she said, "Home in the nick of time. Here's a purse of gold that I've found. It has no name, but sure it belongs to the great lord yonder. I was just thinking what to do when you came." Then Ivan thought of the third counsel, and he said, "Let us go and give it to the great lord." So they went up to the castle, but the great lord was not in it, so they left the purse with the servant that minded the gate, and then they went home and lived in quiet for a time. But one day the great lord stopped at their house for a drink of water, and Ivan's wife said to him, "I hope your lordship found your lordship's purse quite safe with all its money in it." "What purse is that you are talking about?" said the lord. "Sure, it's your lordship's purse that I left at the castle," said Ivan. "Come with me, and we will see into the matter," said the lord. So Ivan and his wife went up to the castle, and there they pointed out the man to whom they had given the purse. And he had to give it up and was sent away from the castle. And the lord was so pleased with Ivan that he made him his servant instead of the thief. "Honesty's the best policy," quoth Ivan, as he skipped about in his new quarters. "How joyful I am!" Then he thought of his old master's cake that he was to eat when he was most joyful. And when he broke it, lo and behold, inside it was his wages for the 3 years he had been with him.